What's up, everybody, and welcome back to ChallengeXpress Choo Choo, where we talk about all things challenge. This time we are going over episode 8 of Total Madness. Before we get into it, let's introduce ourselves. I'm joined by my co-host, Nicole. How you doing, Nick?
I'm just doing really good. You know, one of my favorite parts about today, I would have to say personally, is that this is the 10th take of our intro. So I'm feeling really optimistic. Like, this is the one. I don't know. How are you feeling?
I'm just really looking forward to being a master at intros in the future. You know, just getting that good practice in, you know?
We should do it 10 times every time.
Yeah, and put all of the takes at the end of the podcast. You can see me flipping out.
If we were ever going to do a bloopers reel, like, this might be.
Man, that's money. I mean, our podcast is basically one big blooper reel in general. But
Yes.
my hair right now is a blooper reel. Like, what the hell's going on? All right, but anyway, please remember, before we get into it, to like the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel so you know when we upload. We'll upload these podcasts, small segments. We have a fantasy league that we do updates on that's getting really close, so that's exciting if you want to follow along with that. But yeah, let's get into the episode because it's about damn time. All right, so we start off, actually, first thing that I wanted to mention, didn't really have anything to do with the episode really, but you know, we see Kyle get some airtime right off the get. And automatically, I'm thinking he's talking about how he doesn't want to go into elimination right now. He thinks it's stupid. It's like, this is the 8th episode. When do you want to go into elimination?
Yeah, a couple people have said similar comments. So, like, even Bananas said it. I'm like, don't you just want to get it over with?
Yeah, I mean, now that Fessy and Nelson already got their red skulls, those are probably like the two last people I would want to go against. So, I mean, this specific elimination, yeah, definitely didn't want to go into that one. But Kyle has a lot of height on people. It's like you would think he'd be trying to target certain people to get his red skull.
I think Kyle's just like along for the ride, kind of like Bear, where they just are there to have fun and like.
Yeah, and that's why I think he'll get left in the dust when TJ announces the finals here.
And I think he's fine with that.
Yeah. All right. I mean, this episode was all about Jordan, right? And that tough elimination with one hand, goes into a pole wrestle. I mean, that's got to be rough. His back was against the wall the whole episode. And what do you think about Jordan this episode?
Yeah, it was just really difficult to watch.
Yeah.
Tori and Jordan are both I'm getting deja vu. Like, it's like, it feels like I said this before.
No, you definitely didn't say this 9 times before. It's...
No, really. It was really difficult to watch. Tori and Jordan are my favorite in this competitors, at least this season. And to see them go home back to back for the same kind of scenario of voting themselves in because they want to get that red skull, because they're in this to win it. Like, they're so driven and they really want to win. So to have two people like that back to back go out, and
yeah.
At least Tori, you know, put up a good fight, and not that Jordan didn't put up a good fight. I mean, it just, no matter what he did, he was kind of screwed here, especially after he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
And it was just like so difficult to watch.
Yeah, he's always fighting an uphill battle, and when it comes to a pole wrestle, it's like the steepest uphill battle you can fight. And on the opposing side is the biggest dude in the house who used to play like college football or some shit.
He was jacked. So like going into this, you know, your initial reaction is, oh, there's no way, he doesn't stand a chance. But honestly, I was optimistic because I've seen Jordan perform when you would least expect it, like in the tug of war elimination against Josh. And won that. And he literally won a tug of war with one hand. So going into this, I'm like, well, I've seen him do it before. You know, I honestly didn't doubt him, and I thought that it would be a good fight. And
the only reason why I doubted him was because I could tell from his body language and the tone in his voice when he was throwing himself into elimination during the interrogations I just had a flashback to free agents when Jordan was all talk and he threw himself in against Bananas. He sounded not as confident as he did this time. So I knew that spelled bad news for him. I was still hoping he would pull it out, but no, didn't happen like that. Not even close.
No, that was rough. That was rough. I mean, and a couple, you know, Johnny, Bananas, and Wes putting him in, just knowing his disadvantage. I kind of, you know, on one end, I'm like, oh my God, that's so mean. But overall,
yeah,
I agree with their decision. You know, they were like, oh my gosh, we have the opportunity. You know, this.
They were gonna vote Jordan in no matter what they saw. Like, you know, like, so it would be stupid for their game to change up just because because Jordan would suck at this.
Even if they weren't going to choose him and then they last minute changed their mind because they knew he would not be good at it, that's not messed up. Like, this is a game. Like, you need to knock out your most difficult competitors when you can. And Jordan would do the same thing in return if he was, you know, flipped. So it was anything that was like distasteful. It just, you know, it is what it is. It sucks. Jordan knows his disadvantage, and he usually does a really good job of being one step ahead of everybody else. But this time it just didn't work. And unfortunately,
yeah. And for Bananas and Wes, we saw throughout the episode they're talking about how they don't want Jordan in the final. You know, it's pretty much suicide if he's there in the final.
Yep.
And, you know, really makes me think, you only saw a little bit of this competitor on Invasion of the Champs, Darrell. But he's like this era's Darrell. You know, didn't compete in too many challenges, but when he did, he had a very high likelihood of winning.
Yep.
So he's like this era's Darrell. You don't want to see him in a final. He's the last person you want to see in a final. You don't really want to see him in elimination, but there's a better chance you'd beat him in elimination than a final.
Yep. So they did what they had to do. Unfortunately, another person I really like went home. So
yeah, and it was double elimination, action-packed episode. So we saw both eliminations. Both eliminations, in my opinion, could have been better. You know, could have been better matchups.
Yeah, also
to be more entertaining.
This was the first time we got to see what Fessy is made out of, and a little disappointing because we didn't really get to see. Like, yeah, he did great. It was kind of easy for him.
Not disappointing. I just have like no thoughts on him after winning. You know,
it was hard.
Other than he's big and he's intimidating.
It was hard to say if he's a good at eliminations or a good competitor because the situation was so one-sided. But like, you know, I want to be proud of him. I like him. I want him to do well. I don't know if I've already said this like day one. I think he's making it to the final. Unfortunately, not great for TV. Just a little.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a cool guy. Like, I'd be friends with him. But, yeah, I mean, that's not what I watch the challenge for necessarily. Yeah. I mean, I do like watching people that I would get along with in real life. But you still need to bring something extra. Just, you know, talk to somebody, scheme a little bit. You know, you don't have to punch somebody or hook up with somebody to create drama.
But, so you don't think, I thought Bear and Nelson was a decent matchup. Because they're both kind of strapped. No.
Bear quit earlier in that episode.
Bear literally let go.
Bear let go. Bear didn't want to get down and dirty. Bear looked like me before going for a run in the morning, just not wanting to do anything. Bear was literally sleeping on Nelson. A lot of people sleep on Nelson. Bear was just hanging on Nelson.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to get – it's all about getting that leverage under. Bear got it a couple times, but
he was wrapped around Nelson. All Nelson has to do literally is like break you off. It was the worst technique. But I'm not shocked. Bear is not really there to compete. Like, when have we ever seen him be like, I'm stoked going to this elimination, you know, I'm gonna come out, like, I can't wait.
Only against Wes. That one time against Wes.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I mean, I still want to see Bear back. Just because he's very entertaining. I just want somebody to wake him up before the next elimination.
How about, oh my gosh, now we're at the elimination. Okay, so Kayla is I think she's just so ridiculous. like they were hooking up, previously in this episode, and then when he goes home or when he gets eliminated, she goes, "This is why I never get in relationships on the challenge," or "This is why you shouldn't be in a relationship during the challenge." I'm like, so you guys are in a relationship now? Like, you still have a boyfriend you live with, and now you're calling what you and Bear have a relationship? Like, chill.
Yeah. And I'm assuming, because we know Kayla is seeing somebody else, not Bear, as of right now. So I'm assuming Bear went home, did some things.
Well, remember she went up to him and was like, "I'll fly to you. I'll fly to you." I'm like, you live with your boyfriend of like multiple years. Like, you're telling some other guy you're gonna go fly. Like,
It's so trashy. It's so trashy.
You gotta like fix one thing first, girl. Like, hold on.
Oh, like, stand up for yourself.
Oh,
you know? I don't know. Stop depending on freaking other guys in this challenge house.
Anyway.
But yeah, Bear goes home. Nelson is a beast. I think this makes him 9, 2, and 1 in eliminations.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's 1? 9, 2, and 1?
Remember he had a draw against Darrell when on Vendettas, the mercenaries came in. And they like had that like tug of war type thing around like the circle structure, and Darrell and Nelson just went on forever, and TJ was like, "All right, we're gonna call it a draw."
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's no slouch in eliminations. He may have the worst political game of all time, but he shows up when it counts.
Is that like the first time TJ's ever called a draw on an elimination? That I've seen. I don't.
I for some reason remember one other instance, but I can't even. I just remember TJ saying like, "All right, you guys both get to stay." I could be wrong though. Actually, listeners and viewers, if you can find that out, that'd be really awesome, because that's an interesting question. Does not happen often.
Chance to be our research assistants.
Yeah,
for
free. So yeah, we kind of jumped to the elimination, obviously. So, I mean, we can go to the daily challenge.
Yeah.
Daily challenge was awesome. Decontamination. Let me break it down for you real quick. They compete as individuals. They have to enter a room of biohazardous material. And I love when TJ says that, everyone's just like, okay. And then he's like, no, foam. And he's like, they're like, okay. It didn't even matter. They would have went in no matter what. So yeah, race to the back wall where there's a giant window. Through the window, you'll see flashing lights. You got to memorize the order of the flashing lights, go back to your station, and place these colored discs in the right order of the flashing lights. First, the fastest guy and girl to do that win. There's 3 separate heats.
Yeah. I feel like this was harder than it looked, because there was probably 20 discs or like 30 discs, or maybe 20.
Yeah, so more than they needed.
No.
Because I thought, we can go right into it. The first heat was Josh, Swaggy. I'm calling him Swaggy again. I don't care. Chris, Wes, Corey, Maddie, Casey, and Jenny. We saw Maddie, Corey, and Swaggy work together, and they explained how they were going to do that. Somebody gets 1 through 5, somebody gets 6 through 10, somebody gets 11 through 15.
Oh yeah, so there's 15.
Yeah, so they work together. Wes doesn't have anybody to work together with in this heat, so he decides that he will try to beat them by himself. And this man does.
Yep.
You got to give props to Wes.
I mean, I love it. It's so true. His one brain was better than 3.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. You that's got to boost your confidence against these competitors.
Oh yeah. Wes is doing great this season. He never does, but
yeah, Maddie is the first female to finish in that heat. So then we move on to the second heat, where Jenna gets lost, which is really cute, but at the same time ridiculous, because hey, just follow the other 6 people in your heat.
Yeah, there's enough people where like, yeah.
Like, what? How do you get lost?
Well, wait, and then Nelson intentionally gets lost.
All right, I have a confession to make. I had the same strategy as Nelson going into this.
Yeah, that's what you were thinking you would do?
That's what I was thinking. Go in, memorize the last 5, wait for somebody else to do the first 10, and then just put on your last 5 and win.
That's smart.
Yeah. You just called Nelson smart.
Nelson, I've written it down several times. I'm like, Nelson is he's still not the brightest, but he has been having moments.
I never knew how much I needed Nelson until this season.
I know. I don't support everything he does, barely any of it, but
Nothing.
he's so good for the challenge. He's a good competitor and he's entertaining.
It's like, who else would be doing this if Nelson wasn't here?
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, it's actually a decent strategy. It's a workaround, but hey, work smart, not hard, and you know.
It was so funny when he made his way out of there, though. He was Fessy and D end up winning that heat. Neither times are good enough to break into the top 2, though. Heat 3.
Do you think it's weird, like Dean and Logan teaming up, or just kind of? I mean,
I don't know. They have a weird relationship.
I know it's like we haven't heard about it in a while, but I guess they're on good terms. Like we haven't seen them hooking up. Like who knows what's going on with that?
Right? Yeah, they're not hooking up. They're not flirting with other people that we see. Yeah, very strange relationship. Maybe they're just friends. Why can't they just be friends?
Concept.
Yeah. Heat 3. This is my favorite heat because Bananas killed it. I don't want to sound like a Bananas D rider, but that was genius. And also, I feel like I would have found the same loophole.
The difference between Bananas and every single other competitor on the challenge is Bananas looks at a challenge from a completely different perspective and angle than anybody else does. He like looks at it holistically and is like, all right, how can I do this faster than everybody else outside of the guidelines of like, you know, this is how you have to do this challenge. Is it? As long as you get to the end point. So like that's why he's so good at all of this. We've seen him do it time and time again. And then Wes, on the other hand, is just really, really good and really fast. So it's like between the both of them, they're
working together.
They're crushing it.
Scary. Bananas was looking like a friggin' savant, just like painting a picture in his head. Oh my God. So I thought originally he was seeing the foam light up from the colors.
Me too. That's what I thought. But couldn't you do that strategy too, or no?
Maybe. I don't know. It depends how much foam was in, how big the room was.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, he's looking at the foam turning colors, but
yeah.
I was worried. He said it right. I was thinking, I'm like, don't tell people, until like later. But he said it right in front of TJ, and TJ gave him this look, and I got nervous. Yeah, I got nervous that he was gonna like disqualify him, but because if you see his face, TJ's like,
he got us again.
Yeah.
It's not even cheating,
No, it's not.
Yeah. So heat 3, Bananas wins that heat along with Big T.
Yeah.
Fresh cotton pads.
Oh my gosh, that's the best thing that's ever happened.
I know I'm skipping ahead, but I had to say it.
Fresh cotton
Actually, let's wrap up the challenge, then talk about Big T.
How about
challenge wrapped up.
Bear and Kayla all teaming up so Kayla could save Bear. Oh, why? Like, think about yourself. Oh.
She doesn't care about the game anymore. She's literally putting herself in jeopardy just on a guy's day to save Bear.
She's gonna be out next.
Or she just won't get a red skull. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway,
so the tribunal, or the fastest guy and the fastest girl end up being Wes and Maddie. Maddie decided to show up.
Yeah, we haven't seen her in a while, so it was kind of nice to see her face and see her doing well.
Yeah. Side note, if there's ever an X's season again, which there should be,
Maddie
we're
and Kyle.
due for one. Jeremiah and Maddie. Imagine that.
Oh, I would like Maddie and Kyle.
But they were already partnered. I usually don't like seeing another pair on another season, the same pair on another season. But how about Maddie and Jeremiah? That'd be an interesting team.
Yeah, he'd be so obnoxious on this show.
He'd be like a juiced up Josh, very emotional.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to. I think let's keep him on Floribama.
And Floribama. I don't know. I'd rather have. Who would you rather have, Jeremiah or Gus? I'm not really huge fans of either personality.
I don't know. Gus, he actually, like, when he was on the challenge, it wasn't as bad or cringeworthy as I thought it would be. I mean, it wasn't great, but.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see them both on one season.
Yeah, that's true. Like on a rival season, because they're not friends anymore, that would be really cool, seeing Gus and Jeremiah on a pair. So Wes and Maddie, yeah, they're in the tribunal, and Wes decides to complete the tribunal along with his friendship and picks bananas.
No, that was the moment.
Yeah, I think I saw a tear out of Banana's eye.
Well, I think who this made the biggest impact on, or at least I'm pretending it did, TJ. Like, TJ probably like, what?
Yeah.
You know, such a moment for him to see them fighting season after season after season for years and years, and finally see them working together. It's probably really nice for him, you know?
Yeah, definitely. TJ probably thinks they're up to, like, they're going to turn on each other, though, after everything he's seen them go through. All right, so when did Big T happen? That was after the bar.
Yeah, way later.
Way later. All right, let's house nominations. Anything interesting happen? I mean, we already talked about the elimination, so
Yeah,
I mean, Nelson getting completely dragged on the floor embarrassingly.
Yeah.
That was rough to watch.
Yeah, and I love how he asked the Holy Trinity, like, please don't vote me in, and Anissa literally isn't saying anything. She's just like,
yeah, I'll listen to you.
Yeah, we're gonna vote you in. But that's so angry. Oh.
He made a deal with literally everybody.
Yeah, how can you get mad? Like, the fact that he got so mad, just it's clear that he's upset because
he fucked up.
He's guilty, yeah. And then, you know, we go into the club scene where him and Kyle are arguing.
I think Nelson's purely trying to get him kicked off. I think Nelson would never throw a punch right here. It looked like he was just trying to get on Kyle's nerves.
I love Melissa said, go back to Dr. Phil.
It was over then. It was over.
Oh.
It was over.
That Dr. Phil with Nelson and
I did see it.
Oh man, so good. So yeah, so
now, Melissa.
Finally, after the club, we get Savage Big T with Banana. Who's in the room?
Bananas, Jenny, D's in there. Fessy bunks under Big T, so he was there.
Yeah.
And the civilized savage.
Yeah, everyone's talking about, you know, Big T's a savage, and then I forget who, somebody's like, or maybe Anissa was like, oh, you know, everyone thinks Big T's like really sweet, but there's another side to her, and I love all that build up.
Big T, you could tell, man, she is the type of person who accepts kind of getting made fun of, poke fun, and she clearly got tired of it because Jenny said something, and then Big T was like, I don't give a fuck, Jenny.
Yeah, she switched.
Yeah, that's why, like, it was a build-up moment. Like,
but what would have happened if she didn't cut her foot? Because it looked like she was about to start a fight with somebody.
Yeah, D, which I was happy about, because, like, D, shut up, yo.
And it all got cut short when she cut her foot and said, fresh cotton pads!
First, she said, this one might have been better. She said, whoa, blood makes me feel a little bit fainty.
She also said, am I going to lose my foot?
And what?
She said something like, "Am I gonna lose my foot?"
Oh yeah. And then there's like extended scene released on Twitter of just like how that night played out for Big T, and she was like adamant on looking beautiful before going to the hospital. She's like, I need my wig. I need to look beautiful. But that injury, let's talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
I think it spells disaster for Big T. I think she's going home.
So yeah, I was watching Banana's live stream after the episode. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
He was like talking about it, and he made some comments where, oh, you know, we've seen this before. Somebody get injured outside of a challenge, and it ends up ruining their game. And everybody started going wild, saying, "You just spoiled it. You just spoiled that she's going home." You know, and he like kind of backtracked and was like, "I didn't say she's going home. I'm just saying it happens a lot." And I know. I wonder if she's lucky because we're on a guys' elimination week. So doesn't that give her at least a week?
At least like 3-4 days, I would say, because we don't know when this happened. If it happened after the guys' elimination, if it happened a couple of days after the guys' elimination, if it happened before the guys' elimination.
Yeah.
We don't know, but I rewatched the injury. It's so hard to watch knowing what happened. Like her toe got stuck on the ladder on her way down, and then just like, yeah, I know. It was.
She didn't even know.
I feel bad.
She didn't even notice.
I know, because she was so drunk and pissed.
Oh, I'm feeling wheezy.
Yeah, it sucks because she was having a great season. She made a lot of friends.
So you think this is it?
I think she gets sent home next episode. I think they'll get to the challenge. She won't be able to compete. And it's not even like she has to wait until a female elimination. She has to wait till the next daily challenge to compete.
But if she can't compete in the daily challenge, can't she just sit out and then people will probably vote her into elimination?
Not anymore. That's not how they do it anymore. If you can't compete in a daily challenge, you're getting sent home.
Oh.
Yeah. They used to, back in the day, let people stay on the team depending on the format and whatnot, but I haven't seen that in forever. I mean, we saw Sylvia got kicked off of Vendettas because she was sick. Like, they didn't let her skip a daily challenge.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So Big T's savagery might be coming to an end next episode. We talked about the House nominations, the tribunal interrogations we talked about a bit. I liked how Wes was shitting on Kyle, saying, we're carrying you, you're not doing anything, you're not winning. He's like, save me, Bananas.
Yeah, that was fun. But I mean,
yeah, Corey's was pretty fun to watch. He wants to work with Bananas. He said it. You know, that's got to take a lot of balls to say after everything you tried to do against this guy in the past seasons.
He knows Nelson is going to keep getting thrown into the eliminations, and he's going to need a plan B.
Yeah, and it almost was Corey versus Nelson, another best friend elimination. Corey is like breaking records with that.
Yeah, Hunter.
Yeah, him versus Hunter, Hunter versus Nelly, that whole Team Young Buck.
Yeah.
Team Young Buck.
Yeah.
But did we miss anything? That wraps it up.
Oh.
Did we just get through this without any internet problems?
I think we did. I'm almost like quick end now before anything happens.
No, this is great. All right, well, I found the solution. I got to use my brother's computer. That'll be fun every week.
Yay.
But yeah, next time we get a cool looking challenge in like the sewers. We'll see what happens to Big T. We see Josh and Swaggy get into it. Forgot to mention that. So in between eliminations, Josh and Swaggy are talking in the stands. Josh is like, Bear got blindsided. Swaggy said, no, everybody knew this. Wes was telling everybody. So that kind of hints at Josh like, oh, Swaggy's in with Wes.
No, that's a good point. That was kind of a key moment of Swaggy Wes alliance getting almost like not blown up, but infiltrated. Discovered.
Yeah, something. And this might be never mind. I was gonna say the first time Big Brother people had gone at it against each other, but we saw Paulie and Josh go at it last season, I think.
They're no longer friends.
No. All right, but yep, that's it. We got cool eliminations, pole wrestle. Always good to see. But yeah, that wraps it up. Remember to follow our social medias at ChallengeXpress on Twitter and Instagram. We do live tweets on Twitter during the episode. I also just tweet about the challenge in general, ask questions, and then on Instagram I post pictures, challenge related and just nature related, because challenge yourself every day, people. Go out and challenge yourself. Just do it.
Make it stop.
All right, but sayonara, Jordan and Bear. See you next time, and mostly sayonara, Nicole. See you next time. Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.